And by 1967, Sonny and Cher's career was really taking off with recent hits, I Got You Babe, and The Beat Goes On, and Plastic Man, which you'll hear shortly. Now let's see what was happening on the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour, May 21st, 1967. Thank you very much.
Hey, do you notice that every time the show starts with that logo, the CBS, they say this...
What's the logo?
The logo where it goes, CBS, and it goes...
Doing.
Yeah, and the first one is always... and then it clears up. That's amazing. It's dumb. Every time, every week, it goes on the same way.
Is there anything else I could do for you?
No, what would you like to ask
I'd
me?
like to ask you a question, Tom.
Yep.
Now, last week before, we've told the people at home and here in the audience that you've been reading a lot, keeping up on current events. Now, what have you read, this last week?
Well, the most problem I think that I've been reading about is the troubles that we're having with our allies. We're having a lot of, the Americas, the United States of America, have a lot of problems with their allies.
What do you mean? Be specific. What do you mean?
Well, see, America, we spend over $50 billion. Did you know that we spend...
50 billion?
$50 billion a year on defense. Planes, tanks, bombs, etc., etc. We spend $50 billion a year on defense. We don't need more allies.
Well, what do we need?
We need more enemies.
It's the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour with guest star Martin Landau, Barbara Bain, Pat Colson, special guest star Sonny and Cher, Nelson Riddle and his orchestra, and the Jimmy Joyce Singers. From Television City in Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen, meet the Smothers Brothers.
We do our own choreography. Now, the song we like to do for you is a love song. And it's a song about love, not the world-famous lovers we're all familiar with. Nay, not the world-famous lovers. No. Not Romeo and Juliet, or Anthony and Cleopatra, or Annette Fuccinello and Frankie Avalon.
No, not great.
Nay, not them. But this is a beautiful love, a love that very few people know about. I think very few people know about this love because there's a tender love story of Herman and Sally. You see, Herman was a handsome, dashing, big red lobster, and Sally was just a common beach crab. Guess he'll never make it. Herman met Sally on the beach one night. The sea was calm and the starfish were bright. He looked at her and she looked at him, and it was true love at first sight. Now Herman told his folks about this girl he found, and they said, Herman,
My son, for crying out loud. How can a lobster marry a crab? What will the neighbors think? I mean, you got to think of the children, Herman. Because crabs walk sideways and lobsters walk straight, and we won't let you take her for your mate. Here we go now. Crabs walk sideways and lobsters walk straight, and we won't let you take her for your mate. Everybody sing now. Crabs walk sideways and lobsters walk straight, and we won't let you take her for your mate. Where is love? Now sing like that. Where is love? In the whole world, and where we live, it seems that all the love in the world is right here. Right coming from this studio, the Smothers Comedy Brothers Hour. Love is here, beaming its waves out across, washing the people in love. Where is love? Where is love? Love is here! Okay. Lots of crabs and lobsters in the audience.
Poor Herman, poor Sally. Oh, yes, the bittersweet pain of unrequited love. Yes,
Herman loved Sally, but Herman could not marry Sally. He could not have her for his very own. For Herman was a proud lobster, and he walked straight and true. And what was Sally? Sally was just a crab, and crabs walk sideways.
Yeah.
Besides Herman lived in a restricted neighborhood. But he had to make a decision, and he blindly listened to his parents. And he made the wrong decision, but then, being a lobster, he had no backbone. Herman told Sally, and it broke her heart. She had loved that lobster right from the start. He took her in his claws and said, I'll always be yours, but still, we really have to part. Sally said, let's talk to your mom and your dad. We'll show them that crabs really aren't that bad. They turned her away, what would the neighbors say? And they laughed at the funny walk she had. 2, 3, 4. Crabs walk sideways and lobsters walk straight, and we won't let you take her for you. Everybody sing now! Oh, crabs walk sideways and lobsters walk straight, and we won't let you take her for your name. Let's hear the lobsters now. Crabs walk sideways and lobsters walk straight, but we won't let you take her for your name. Now let's hear the crab. One day on the sandbar, what did Herman see? But his little old Sally walking straight as can be. He said, now, Sally, my sweetheart, I could take you in my family. And she said, Herman? What'd you say?
Daddy's sweetheart me.
Crabs walk sideways and lobsters walk straight, and we won't let you take her for your maid.
Up next, music from Cher.
What's it all about, Alfie?
Later, Martin Landau is the original Mad Russian.
I'm hypnotizing you each time you look into them there eyes.
And following this classic episode, Martin Landau remembers.
And you'd get an idea, and they would, you'd bounce it off them, and they would say, hey, that's great, and they'd embellish it so that it was always a work in progress.
Tonight on E, at 9 Talk Soup provides you with the day's most unbelievable outrage.
Sonny and Cher have made many exciting recordings, and last year, Cher herself recorded the original soundtrack to the motion picture Alfie. And now, here she is to sing Alfie, the very exciting Cher.
Just ahead, a look at love and marriage.
Well, is it true?
Alexander.
Well, is it, honey, is it true?
And still to come, a Sonny and Cher hit from the summer of '67.
This week, since we have two happily married couples as guests on our show, we thought we might explore the world of marriage and examine some of the problems that have plagued husbands and wives since the beginning of time. Now, even famous people in history have had problems with their marriages. Now, why don't the two of you tell us in general terms just why you believe your marriage has run into difficulty?
Well, first of all, my name is Mrs. Alexander the Great, and he's my husband.
That's the way we're always introduced. She says, Mrs. Alexander the Great and her husband. Always gets second billing.
And why not? I mean, who made you great? When I met you, you were Alexander the Nothing. Couldn't even walk without cutting his leg on his sword.
Why do you always have to keep telling people that? You're always telling people that.
Why shouldn't I tell you people that? I mean, listen, whose idea was it for you to conquer Greece, huh? It was my idea, right? Right? And what did you say when I told you to go conquer Greece? You said, I could never conquer Greece. If I conquered Greece, then I'd have to go conquer someplace else, and then conquer someplace else. And there I am, caught up in a rat race. But you conquered Greece because I told you to conquer Greece. And right away, you were mentioned in Conquerors to Watch.
I just can't take this anymore. I want out. She can have custody of the children. I'll give her 10,000 Greeks a year until she remarries, and after that, I'll give her 10,000 little Greeks for child support.
I don't want Greeks.
Well,
I want us to be the way we used to be when I used to bring your elephants hot soup. When we were young and in love, and all we had was a dream of crushing the world together.
Mrs. Alexander the Great, please. Mrs. Alexander Great and her husband, I actually think the two of you are still very, very much in love. And now, why don't you go back to your field tent and talk things over?
Well, all right. Send me a bill and I'll send you a Greek.
Now, many marriages fail because the husband devotes all of his time to business and not really enough time to his wife. What kind of work do you do, Mr. T?
Well, I write sex education textbooks. When I come home at night after writing textbooks all day, I just like to shake hands. Good, clean handshake.
But I want to kiss sometimes. Why can't you kiss me sometimes?
I get enough of that at the office. All day long we're putting out a new textbook. We keep having meetings about kissing and even weirder stuff than that.
They say sex is healthy, beautiful.
If you touch me again, I'm going home to Mother.
To each his own. Now, many marriages are unhappy that could be made happy by seeking out a wise marriage counselor. Now, since you two couples couldn't afford individual marriage counseling, I thought it might be of help to your respective marriages if I counseled the four of you together to cut down on expenses. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, I'd like you to meet Mr. and Mrs. Jackson.
How do you do? How do you do?
How do you do? How do you do? Fine, thank you. Fine, thank you.
Fine, thank you.
Fine, thank you.
Now, Mrs. Johnson, what do you think is wrong with your marriage?
Well, I like to go out dancing, and my husband likes to sit at home like a lump.
And I like to sit at home like a lump, and my husband likes to go out dancing.
Uh-huh.
Darling!
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 Now, Now, it's not only the young married couples that have difficulty in their marriages. Sometimes there can be problems in marriages that have lasted for many, many years. Now, what seems to be the trouble with your marriage?
Well, tomorrow night is our diamond wedding anniversary, and the children are going to give us a party.
Oh, that's wonderful. 75 years of marriage.
We get a Mexican divorce, but we're both afraid to fly.
Yes, we had 5 children, 3 girls and 2 boys. And they had 15 children, 9 girls and 6 boys. And they had 46 children, 22 boys and 24 girls. And they had 164 children, 79 boys and 85 girls. And every single one of them is a dirty rat.
Don't blame me. I didn't want to marry you in the first place. You were a lousy lover, a lousy husband, a lousy father, a lousy grandfather, a lousy great-grandfather. And when little Sally Sue gives birth next week, you're going to be a lousy great-great-grandfather.
Oh, boy. Now, why didn't you tell me this before? Before cute little pug-nosed Mitch Travis got senile.
You old fool. I'm Midge Travers.
You're Mitch Travers? Well, who am I?
You're Harold Fisher.
I'm Harold Fisher? And you're Mitch Travers? Mitch, baby!
Directly ahead, an Aloha getaway with Pat Paulson. And later, Tom and Dick from Russia with Laughs.
The brothers Kramus, time, many of you are making plans for vacations for the summer. And we thought it would be helpful if we could bring you some travel advice about one of the world's vacation paradises. And here tonight to live with you an exciting vacation to exotic... Well, I'm not going to tell you where it is, but he will tell you. Here he is, a man with a heart full of wanderlust, our Vice President, Mr. Patrick Carlson.
Hi, fellow travelers. Join us as we sail across the horizon to Hawaii, magic land of romance and beauty. As our ship rounds Diamond Head, we are struck with the majesty and beauty of this mystical land of Hawaii. Arriving at Pearl Harbor, we watch the native divers diving for coins and pearls, and other native divers. Hawaii was discovered in 1778 by Captain James Cook. A personable man, he maintained friendly relations with the natives. And a monument now stands at Kohala, Hawaii, on the very same spot he was killed by the friendly natives. Setting off on our tour, our camera first stops at Waikiki Beach, where we gaze up in wonder at the great bronze statue of King Kamehameha, who united the islands in 1795. We read the inspiring inscription below. 3rd place, Class B Invitational Surfboard Championship. Now let us look at the flora and fauna of Hawaii, wonderful ginger blossoms, luxuriant and fragrant silver swords, and the wonderfully erotic, exotic bird of paradise. We watched the fauna of Hawaii, blue-cheeked parrots, many-colored minas, pheasants by the score, and even the lowly seagull leaves his mark on the tourist. Legends abound in this tropical wonderland. One such legend tells of the secret Spitting Rock, where many years ago a young Hawaiian stood on this very same rock and told a young maiden of the love in his heart and asked her to wed with him. And if she did not wed with him, he would jump off the rock and kill himself. She said no, she would not wed with him, and he jumped. But just before he jumped, he spit on her. And that's why we call it Spitting Rock. And to this day, hundreds of young Hawaiians climb this rock just to stand around and spit on each other. Sliding down the rock, we pass colorful wahinis dressed in traditional garb. You all know what a wahine is? It's something you put on a bahun with lots of mustard. We must leave this fabulous jewel of the Pacific. Pulling away in our banana-laden boat, the natives on the shore wave a goodbye as they sing an old Hawaiian traditional entitled, "May the great winds from the north waft across the flat stones of your village and blow the scent of sun-ripened fish up your nose."
Coming up, Sonny and Cher. next, the Smothers have czars in their eyes.
Your Excellency, we are at your service.
Oh, that hurts. Coming up.
In the latter days of Imperial Russia, while the masses groaned in poverty, a mad, bearded monk, Rasputin, used his evil hypnotic powers to hold the Tsarina under his spell and all Russia under his thumb. Rasputin, a madman for all seasons.
My beloved countrymen, there is a rumor afoot that I have the Tsarina under a spell. This rumor is totally untrue. Tsarina, go into a trance and tell them the truth.
Yes, sir. I am your empress, and I rule Russia. And I rule Russia. And I rule Russia. And I command you to obey all the commands of Rasputin.
Rasputin says arms down. Rasputin says step forward. Rasputin says kneel. Stand up. Off with his head. I didn't say Rasputin says. So loser, you're so loser. No. Rasputin says scram. Tsarina, 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 I have all of Russia under control. Yes, I can do anything I want. I can take a head off and put it back on. I can make the sun rise, the sun set. I can fix a parking ticket. I can do anything at all. Soon I will rule the entire world and its vicinity. What do you think of that, huh?
Oh, Rasputin, I love you. You are my kind of maniac.
I'm hypnotizing you each time you look into them there eyes. Hey, hey, hey! Who are you and what have you got there?
I'm your surf, and this is my surfboard.
Surf, get out! Rasputin says get out. Well, now I will go and hypnotize the entire army. Uh-oh, I hypnotized my hand. Snap out of it. Snap out. Do as you're told. Snap out of it. Snap out of it.
Oh, Mother Russia, forgive me. Forgive me. Because of me, all of Russia is under the yoke of Rasputin. No one will face his power. Except perhaps I have one hope. My loyal Cossacks, the brothers Karamazov.
Tsarina, mother of all Russia, we are your loyal subjects, the brothers What?
Karamazov.
That's right. And we love life. Yes, we live each day to the fullest. Ah! Slobbered. Slobbered. We eat. Ah. We drink. We have fun. Oh, Tsarina, why does Tsarina sigh?
Oh, because my Russia is all under the power of Rasputin.
Tsarina, then we get rid of this Rasputin.
No, it is not that easy. Rasputin is a dangerous man. Look what he did to my loyal Kazakh Dubrovnik. He hypnotized him into thinking he was a cow.
That's terrible.
Oh, it's not so bad. We still get 6 quarts a day from Dubrovnik. Shut up, Dubrovnik.
Your Excellency, we are at your service.
Oh, my sweet little Karamazov. Rasputin could destroy you.
Bah! I spit on Sputin. What did I hear? My name being mentioned? Who are these two? I am Dick Karamazov. I am Tom Karamazov. We are Dick and Tom
Karamazov.
That's right.
They are here to free me from your hypnotic power.
What? I scoff at your hypnotic power, Rasputin. Scoff, scoff. One scoff for each eye. What? You dare attack the great Rasputin? I will have your eyes plucked from your head. Your tongue torn out by the root. I will throw you to the wolves, who will strip every inch of flesh from your body. And then I will take away your overcoat.
But you can't do that.
I can.
Oh, Rasputin, you will look beautiful in his overcoat.
You see? You dirty Cossacks. I can do anything I want.
You see, he's cast a spell on Tsarina. We must save Mother Russia. You must destroy him now.
Me? Why me?
Because...
Why not you, brother?
Because Mother Russia likes you best.
You're right.
Mother likes me best? No, she doesn't. How come you got all the borscht and caviar and I got nothing? And when it snowed, you got a clever sled and all I got was a garbage can top.
Wait a minute.
You bet.
Now, wait a
And you
minute.
always went on vacations to groovy places down by the seashore.
You got vacations, too.
Yeah, in stupid Siberia.
Stop it! This one's not so bad, but this one makes me crazy. Oh, you got such a headache. Oh, now look, you get out of here before I turn you into a chicken.
I'm not afraid of your hypnotic power, Rasputin.
You're not.
I challenge you to a stare out.
A what?
A stare out.
Agreed. Agreed.
Agreed.
Agreed. All right. To your places. On your mark. Get set. Stare out. Ha! You missed. Yes, but I got a rotten serve. You're getting tired. Tired. Your eyes are growing heavy. Heavier and heavier.
No, they're not.
Heavier. Heavier and heavier. Your right eye weighs 20 pounds.
No.
Your left eye is so heavy it takes 2 hands to hold it open. You are getting very sleepy.
I'm not sleepy.
Gentle, tranquil sleep.
I'm not sleepy.
Sleep.
I'm not sleepy.
You are asleep.
I am not. Night.
Rock-a-bye, baby. The treetop.
Look, I'm not a light sleeper.
Look into my eyes like Dubrovnik did.
You look into my eyes, I will put you to sleep.
No, you won't.
What will you do?
I look back into your eyes and go to sleep.
Won't go to sleep.
Today, Karamazov. Tomorrow, the world. Rasputin! What do you see as you look into this eye? I see a vast wasteland. I want 2 quarts of milk and a carton of cottage cheese.
Directly ahead, Martin Landau looks back at the show.
It's funny because there I am, 25 years younger, with white hair and many less wrinkles.
Good night. Good night.
Well, that's our show for tonight. What do you think, Tom?
I liked it.
Some good memories?
Well, no good memories, but a lot of memories. And particularly...
what else was happening in 1967?
Well, Martin Landau, Barbara Bain. Martin Landau was also a very talented fine artist, did a lot of paintings, some very nice paintings. Doing the sketch was fun for him because he was such a straight actor.
Well, I mean, you know, the show itself was you had about 5 days to put the whole thing together, which meant production numbers and dance numbers and orchestra rehearsals. And during rehearsal, as we were on our feet doing stuff, the writers were there and would contribute, you know, and you'd get an idea and they would, you know, you'd bounce it off them and they would say, hey, that's great, and they'd embellish it so that it was always a work in progress, which was kind of fun because it never really was gelled totally until you did it the final time. The other sketch was the marriage counselor sketch. It's funny because there I am, 25 years younger, with white hair and many less wrinkles, playing older than I am now, and it's kind of funny.
Sonny and Cher now. At CBS, after our show was put off the air, they took over our studio. Many of our people who were writers and directors and
had our offices, they had our
office, everything.
And the people around CBS Television City would say, "Oh, have you seen the new Sonny and Cher Smothers Brothers Hour?" And that was sort of a bitter. It was funny, but it was a little.
But the reason it was is because the form was the same. They had Sonny and Cher would come out and do a song together. The same form, the same structure was pretty much through the show, taking songs, breaking them up. Putting sketches in the musical.
The major difference, though, between and shooting the show was, I think Cher was the first one to come in with these great hairdo changes and costume changes, and they really didn't shoot in front of a live audience like we did. Our show would take at max 2 hours to shoot. Sometimes we'd get it an hour and a half, and it would take her an hour and a half to get in her dress and get her hair. So what they did is, when we did a number of the shows, we would do the skits with no audience.
Here's the interesting thing. Sonny and Cher, I think, at the time they were doing the show, were probably one of the best comedy teams. Sometimes it's dismissed as personality, but you see their work together, and there was eye contact happening all the time.
It always bothered me, though.
I liked them. And another thing was
interesting. I didn't say I didn't like them, but it bothered me because brothers can fight. You know, we will fight forever, but it just made me a little uneasy when I see married couples fighting.
Well, I liked it.
She kept jumping on his short. It wasn't that short. It was our height, almost.
Well, I think the races she was jumping on because my brother Dick and Cher are both Scorpios. They're both quick studies.
And why don't we like each other?
Because you're the same type of people. You look at each other and know exactly what the other one's thinking, and it's disgusting.
Well, you might have a point there, but what is your point? Finish it up.
The point was that Sonny, and later on in our careers, when Sonny had left Cher, Sonny and I, and Dickie and I were not performing at that time, and Sonny and I were going to do an act together. And we were
what?
Yeah, we were going to.
I never heard about this.
We never got anywhere.
Okay.
He did work with Tim Conway once, so up at the Harris Club, they put
another short guy.
Another short guy.
Okay.
But Sonny and I were talking. We were talking about how long we had to work to learn our lines, and Cher was the same as my brother. They would get their part down, and they were gone. If rehearsal was from 10 to 10:30, they said, "Well, we've got other things to do," and walk away and leave Sonny and I individually in our shows, struggling, because I think Sonny was a dyslexic. Also, I mean,
I know that Tommy's always had a great love for Sonny's talent in his.
I think he's great.
I think he's too. But Tommy said, "Guys, here's this guy. He could hardly talk. He's running around. He's trying to direct and move everything around." He says, "I feel the same as poor Sonny."
And we did everything but learn our lines.
Yeah.
Basically, that.
Yeah, you know, and really our careers were very similar. You know, except that we had a better marriage. That's you know,
there was a lot of fighting, and no sex.
Yeah, for both couples.
And also on this show was we always had Pat Paulson. He was
he was our regular guy.
We called we always called Pat our sketch saver. Put Pat Paulson in a sketch, and the thing flew.
There's something about Pat's talent and he didn't have to have any material. He just this face, and you'd look at him, and he would save the sketch. We hope this comedy hour brought back some pleasant memories.
And if you weren't around back then, too bad.
You should have been. And we hope you learned a little bit about what life and TV were like in 1967.
Smothers Brothers are coming up on Monday with Glenn Campbell. I love doing that. Oh, and Mom's Mabley, too.